Today we have former Olympic bronze medalist, former lineal light heavyweight champion of the world, the Magic Man Antonio Tarver. Although I have some issues and some pain with how Antonio won the championship, he still gets his props, so let's get in this interview. What's up, Magic Man?
What up, what up, what up? Question.
What's going on? Have a good one, bro. What's going on, guys?
Where did you grow up?
I'm the Magic Man from the Magic City of Orlando,
Boom.
Florida, bro. You said,
Why do I feel like you're from Iowa?
I don't know. You got me confused. I'm from the South, bro.
Magic Man,
From the
that's what I was
South,
tell
man.
him.
Magic Man, Jeremy.
Look, Marco owes me $2 because he was saying you were from
Shut
Iowa.
the fuck up. He was saying you're from Iowa. I'm like, Iowa.
Y'all should have did y'all homework before y'all got on here with me, bro.
Wait a second. Not y'all.
Yeah,
I knew where you were from. Jeremy.
You don't know where I'm from? I'm the Magic Man, bro.
I knew it.
Marco was all the way off, and then he tried to make you feel better by wearing the same color jacket as you.
It's all good, man. What's happening, guys? How y'all doing?
Good, we're doing well, man. How you doing today?
I'm good, bro. Can't complain, you know.
Let me ask you a question.
Like you're in a strip club.
Excuse me?
I feel like you're in a strip club.
I'm in the gym still, man. I'm fine. I'm in the gym still. I'm just chilling.
Grinding.
But like that in the gym?
Yeah.
Really?
You find that surprising?
I do.
Why you say that?
I heard the bell just go off.
Why you
Very close.
Because it's going from orange, was that blue, purple, pink, red. I've never seen a gym like that.
That's the smoothie side, bro. That's where we make the drink.
That makes
all the
sense.
nutrition and the health shit, the protein shakes, all that. You know.
So let me ask you a question.
Juice bar.
Let me ask you a question. How old were you when you took up boxing?
When I started, 10 years old.
10, okay. So you turned pro at 29, correct?
27.
27. And was that, it's a little later for most people. Was there a reason for that you started a little later or no?
Yeah, I got back into boxing a little late. You know what I'm saying? I started at 19, 20. I got back into the game and took it real serious when I was about 22.
Oh, okay.
I got really focused and had my mind set on, just achieving certain things and just put the work in. I mean, the ability was always there. I needed the focus, and once I got the structure, it was a wrap. I knew what I wanted, and I went for it. You know what I mean?
What was your fight weight when you were a kid? What was your first fight weight when you were a kid?
My first fight, it was 1979. My first fight was at the Eddie Graham Sports Stadium. I fought a little amateur show, knocked the kid out in about 14 seconds with a left hook.
What was your weight?
I was, 80?
You just went mute.
I was 80 pounds. Can you
80?
hear me?
Wow. 80.
Yeah.
I remember those days, man.
You know, we spoke with Buddy McGirt recently a couple times, and we asked him who was the most talented fighter he's ever trained, and he said, without even thinking, you. And that speaks volumes, man.
That's a great compliment, man, coming from Buddy McGirt. He's seen them all. He trained them all, but we did some great things together, man. Buddy, when we got together, it was all just a dream, and then we just took off together, and it was a beautiful, beautiful team. Beautiful team that we had, and we made a lot of things happen, and we like I said, we dreamed together, and that was a hell of a ride. You know what I'm saying? I'll never
Yeah.
forget. Hell of a ride.
What?
Amateur. How many amateur fights did you end up having?
You know, I if you add them all up, I think I had about 80 fights between my 10 years old and 14. I had about 80 some fights, and then I took a hiatus. I didn't get back into boxing until I was around, well, it was actually in 88, 19. So in 88, I started back. Um, I went all the way I went to a PAL tournament. I think it was like a regional PAL tournament. I got robbed, and I kind of got discouraged again. You know how that shit goes. You know what I mean? And then after that, I'm like, well, you know what? I'm gonna do this, and I really wasn't turning back after that. You know what I mean?
Do you
But
think, do you think that start was because you were one of those fighters that you were fresh and you peaked in your mid-30s? Do you think that time off attributed to that?
I really can't say that. Like I said, I just had my own path, man. I mean, it was different. It was unique. Uh,
Uh-huh.
it just what it was, and I didn't let. Even though I had these obstacles in my way, they say I was too old when I started, so that was kind of tough. You know what I'm saying? But I still end up, you know, carving that out. So it was like a lot of people want to say this and that, man. But like, man, look, very few guys got it like I got it. You feel me? Like
Sure.
strictly from the mud, because they weren't doing me no favors. So you feel me?
Yeah.
Like I got it from the mud, man. And that shit right there should be even more respected. You see what I'm saying?
I do, and it makes a lot of sense because people they tend to the guys who start really really young and go all the way through, but you took a big jump and you stopped and then came back and then became a world champion. So I mean that is one of the higher level guys you can ever imagine.
Um, Absolutely, man. Antonio, who would you say was the best all-around fighter that you ever fought?
I mean, it was one guy that I can say that, for as many rounds that we were in the ring, he kind of it was nick and tuck, and even in the rematch, he was really having his way with me, man. That was Eric Harding, man. I mean, he gave me fits. He was a southpaw. He had
Mm-hmm.
he had very good boxing technique. He had a great trainer. Um, Galvin was his trainer. Had a great trainer, man.
Mm-hmm.
A Philadelphia fighter. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I mean, he gave me fits, but at the end of the day, it was just, you know, um, it was my time, and I got to, I avenged that loss even after he broke my jaw, and I took a big risk, man. That was really a defining moment in my career, because I took people don't realize the big risk that I took in that fight. Um, I can truly say that fight. I don't think they offered me that fight thinking that I would win that fight. You see what I'm saying? Because I had regained the mandatory status to fight Roy Jones. I regained that status, and all I really had to do was wait. But when HBO offers you a date and more money than you've ever made in the ring
Mm-hmm.
professionally, so that was kind of like a carry. And then I looked in myself. I said, you know what? If I can't beat Eric Harding, and I really challenged myself. If I can't beat Eric Harding, why am I even really,
sure. Yeah,
about
well,
being in the ring or even challenging Roy Jones? So at that time, I had to prove something to myself.
Right.
You see what I mean? As a champion and as a man, you feel me? I had to prove something to myself. So I took that risk, and I gambled. I risked it all. I say, you know what? Hey, this man had his way with me, broke my jaw and everything. But I came back. I believed in myself, and I had, I think, one of the most, dramatic turnarounds in a fight. You
Mm-hmm.
You,
Yeah.
I mean,
Do
it's
you
got boxing my head off, man. It's like, but Buddy, man, a great trainer that he is, stick to the plan. Even though you feel me, things aren't going well for me in the first 2 or 3 rounds. I couldn't get away from his jab.
Yeah.
I was eating jabs, blah, blah, blah. But, Buddy just say, you know what? I'm trying to hit the bullseye. Hit matter. So I just started letting my hands go and
Uh-huh.
started touching him. I just started touching him with that power. And for whatever reason, he stayed there a little too long. And you know what? His trainer kind of really also kind of told him to go get me because he had a good round 3. I mean, he called me with some body shots. He was letting me have it. You know what I mean? And his trainer really got him amped up to say, press him. He's ready to go. And I think that played right into my hand because I was able to get him coming over aggressively, and I backed him right into a counter left. And
Yeah.
when I caught him with that shot, I hurt him real bad, and then I finished him, man. But that was Eric Harding gave me fits, bro.
People don't realize Eric Harding, if he didn't fight in the era of you and Roy, Eric probably would have dominated that division. He was that good. But you guys were just, a step above.
Back in those days, I can say that. Like back in those days, like everybody could truly fight, man. You know what I mean? And that division, that was death row, bro. You see
Mm-hmm.
what that was death row when you look at it, bro. Like all them guys could fight. You feel me? That's the era and the time I came from, and everybody in that top 10 fought each other because I pretty much had to eliminate the top 10 to get my shot. And I
Uh-huh.
fought Montel, Reggie Johnson, you know what I mean? Eric Harding, you feel me? Glenn Johnson. The list goes on, bro.
Yeah.
Like
just
all
just
those
so
guys could fight.
175? So the people who don't know, they know that we're talking about that. In that 75, it was a tough division for a very, very long time.
Who,
Yeah.
who who would you say, Antonio, was the hardest puncher you ever been in there with?
The guy that hit me with the best shot probably was Danny Green, man. Danny Green almost took my head off with a left hook.
Oh,
But
wow.
if I wasn't in shape, boy, I would have been knocked out right then. I know that, man. But hey, the next round I had to get him up out of there, boy. He was dangerous, man. As long as he was in there, he was dangerous for
He
sure.
was, man. So, I was a huge Roy Jones fan, right? And, I'm still,
Stop, stop, stop. Don't say was. You are.
I was, and uh, I'm still a little upset with you, Antonio, for what you did to him. But you get the props. You did, you took down Superman. That fight was weird because you would show up to the press conferences like you knew that you would have his number. So what about Roy? What about him made you so sure when and in a time period where nobody could even touch him, you knew that you would get him?
I was. I just knew I was a talent, man. I don't know what nobody else could be, but I was a talent, bro. Like you don't win how I won if you wasn't really the good you amateur. And you don't get through that amateur pedigree internationally like I did without having the goods, bro. Like I don't know what they didn't see, how they couldn't see me coming, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
Every every level of the game I was at, I was the best. I proved.
Hmm.
I'm looking at my boy Ivan Robinson.
So I don't know what nobody else can't see.
Right. Well, it's just because Roy was one of those. He stood out so much, but do you think that? How tall are you, Antonio? 6'3"?
6'2",
Do you?
6.
So when you were fighting, though, people watching don't realize 6'2" was very tall for light heavyweight, right?
I had my advantages because I had my own skill set. That's what it was, bro. It was my own unique skill set that allowed me to be as effective as I was. And I'm gonna tell you, it wasn't anything that they can put on a tape. It wasn't reach, it wasn't height, it wasn't none of that. And you can't judge somebody's thinking ability and their prowess. You can't judge it. And nobody can measure my heart.
Yeah.
Nobody can measure my intestinal fortitude. Nobody knows why I'm fighting. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? Shit, you know, when I came in the game, it was only one reason: to be the best. That's where I come from. It wasn't no ifs, ands, or but midway. It was all or nothing.
Well,
So that's when you came from Iowa, right?
do you do you think that if you would have fought, now I know how you're gonna answer this, but if you would have fought Roy, you know, when Roy was 10 years younger, do you think that you would have beat him just as easily, or do you think it would have been a harder fight?
And I didn't beat Roy easily.
The second fight.
None of that came easily. Not even the knockout. None of it. If you knew what I had to go through to prepare myself, bro, none of that shit came easy.
Mm,
No, that was a defining moment. That was a defining moment as well, bro. I mean, everything had to come together.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
No, that was just, I felt like, for real, it was just my destiny, and I knew it. You feel me? I believed in it, and hey, I wasn't wrong. I know in my heart how all those, you feel me, all the
Right.
got there. I had a story, bro. I got a long story. So and it's like, um, everything, even that loss, prepared me for that win.
Right. I mean, I
Even
guess.
even the defeat against Eric Harding, that was a pivotal moment for me to prepare for what I had to go
Right.
through. That loss, because if I would have won that fight, I'd probably fight Roy to a close decision. They give it to him, and I'm never heard of again. You see what I'm saying? But when I came back and knocked Eric Harding out, I was ready. I had already seasoned then. You feel me? I was,
Hmm.
but so at that time. So, the first fight, of course, it was a lot of controversy, but at the same time, you know, that really sealed the deal for me to really
Yeah.
get that second opportunity.
Right. I
And
mean,
that second opportunity, and when you feel like it, you did everything you were supposed to do, and I just felt like blatantly rob you, bro. You feel like your house been broken into. You know what I mean? You
right.
feel violated in the worst way. So I felt like the whole gamut was against me. So I said, man, and I told everybody that would listen,
Hmm. Yeah. I mean,
and I
yeah.
got, and I got witnesses, some very prominent witnesses. They tell the truth. So it wasn't like, I told them I got to do this because I don't trust the judges. They gonna rob me if they go to decision. So that was the first time I ever really trained to get a guy out of there. I wasn't trying to go
Right.
notice.
Right. So do you think that him losing all the weight from heavy coming back down, do you think that played a part? Like, because that was obviously his side of the.
No, I don't think it played a part. You asking me that question, bro. The whole thing was no excuses. That was the whole thing. And then Jeremy Williams, no man, everybody lose weight, bro. When has that ever been a reason
That's
for
just
a guy in
the one.
boxing to lose weight and have difficulty? I mean, hey, that's part of the game. You think I wasn't losing weight? You
Mm,
think I wasn't losing as much weight as Roy, bro? I was never a light heavyweight, bro. Come on.
mm,
When you in the amateurs, you 178. That's the cutoff for light heavyweight. I'm 27 years old and I'm having to lose three extra. You feel me? I had to lose additional weight, bro.
Yeah,
That 3 pounds was I couldn't even. Light heavyweight was always troublesome for me to make. I always felt, you know, I was, a better heavyweight. You
mm,
feel, you know,
mm-hmm.
back then, they had one or two giant heavyweights, but they didn't have a whole lot. But shit, when they was that small era heavyweight, man, I think I could have been, my skill set could have gave a lot of those guys nightmares, bro. Like, cause that skill is one thing. That shit pay the bill. I don't care what all that, you know.
yeah.
And I want to say one thing, Jeremy, man, when I got on the scene in the amateur boxing game, bro, you was one of them guys everybody was warning me about. I was gonna have to see the light heavyweight division. You feel me?
Yeah,
You was a monster out there before I got out there.
I was trying to rip everybody's head off.
Yeah.
fought 70. You fought 78 as well.
Huh?
You fought 78 as well.
Yeah, that was my
Right
weight.
after.
That was my weight class. I miss you. I miss you. I miss you, dog.
That
Right
is
behind me.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, right behind you.
Oof, that would have been a good.
You know who I got though? They robbed me to Richard Bonds, man, in
Richard
'92.
Bonds.
In '92, they robbed me, like straight gaped me.
I
Richard
fought
Bonds,
Bonds
U.S.
5 times.
Nationals.
I fought Bonds 5 times.
I know. Yeah,
Man,
Dude, he was tough but awkward. More tough than awkward,
man,
right?
spanked him, bro. I spanked him bad up there in Colorado. They robbed me.
Oh man.
wow. Is there any fighter who you really wanted to fight during your career but never got the chance to?
Of course, Calzaghe.
Oh,
Of course. That was the fight right there. But I mean, nobody wanted to fight me, bro. I mean, I was like, they had like I was like the plague. They didn't want to touch me, bro. You know that. And every time they did, they paid for it basically. So it was like one of those things, man. They didn't really want to dance with the Magic Man. You know that.
no. You were a recipe for disaster, man. You gave a lot of people problems.
And doing that and being so devoted to your craft and your sport, who'd want to fight you? Nobody.
But they should. But it's like in order, you know, like I hate when people say that because it usually always be our kind that really get that mark, bro. And it's like it's unfortunate. You the best, bro. Like, and all these fighters deserve opportunities, bro. Like, come on, you feel me? Like, nah, I don't agree with that because like
Wow.
I had so much to give.
Somebody just asked a question. Jeff Lacey and Tarver at 68. You think how would that have looked?
Ah, ah.
Jeff Lacey, he's a thumper, man.
Come on, bro.
I,
Like,
I think Antonio would have been way too much for him.
man, hey, skills pay the bills, bro. You ain't never seen nobody really go upside my head.
So
Like,
let me ask you this then, Antonio. Who would you have liked to have fought any fighter of any era? We're talking fantasy type shit. What fighter would you have loved to have fought?
all the greats. You feel me? All the greats, bro. I like, you know, that's the only one that's the only thing I'm gonna really get up for is the greats. So, you know, if I'm gonna match my skills against anybody, it's gonna be the great legendary fighters of the day.
You know what just came to my head? Last night we interviewed Tommy Hearns, me and Jeremy, and I'm like, you and Hearns in your primes? Woof.
But I was a light heavyweight. He was not a bona fide light heavyweight.
He topped out.
Welterweight.
But
He was welterweight.
True.
Middleweight too, but middleweight still 15 pounds light. You feel me?
True.
So
he was.
Think about all light heavyweights, maybe even super middles, something like that.
Yeah.
And that.
Ivan Robinson's here saying Antonio Tarver beat the brakes off Lacey.
Yes.
Damn. We got a fan in.
So like, let's say on the other side of it, what fight would you say of all your fights was the most disappointing to you?
Disappointing, man. Probably the Hopkins fight. Probably the Hopkins fight, just because you know none of it made sense at the time, and you know I was coming off that movie, so I was kind of a little distracted. It kind of threw one in on me. You feel me?
Yeah. What would you say about Hopkins made that fight so difficult?
I'm not sure, bro. I can't really speak on what made it difficult, but you know, I just felt like I just never showed up to that fight. I felt like I was just never in, and it just like it didn't really represent what I bring to the table, what I brought to the table. And if you go back and look, you ain't never seen me fight like that. So that was one of those things I just chalk it up to, you know, I don't know what it could have been, but it just was the guy, the ability I got. It's like the thing come on, ain't nobody. Roy Jones couldn't hit me with a straight right hand, bro. And like this man, I couldn't get out of the way of the straight right. It was weird. It was weird, man.
Absolutely. So you talk about the movie for people watching. You were in Rocky. is it true that Roy was supposed to have that role initially, then after you beat him, they gave it to you?
I mean, people be saying all kind of stuff. I've never known it to be like Sly called me direct and we talked. So I really don't know what the situation was, but they always, everything,
So
I,
that's getting in. Would you be open? I mean, would you be open to? What are you doing now? Movies? You're
oh,
doing.
man, I'm grinding right now. I'm just started my promotional company. I'm gonna be doing some shows here in Florida. You know, I'm really in the trenches with Junior, my son. He's gonna, we looking for a really big 2022 with him and, the 154 pounds. So he's 8-0 with 5 knockouts. We looking to get active. And, you're really pouring into these young guys here that we're training, you know what I'm saying, and managing, So it's all about giving back. And, we're going to have some big announcements coming up real soon,
Yeah. I've
so I'm excited about it.
I've seen you. I've seen your son. I've seen you. I've seen him box. He's definitely talented. Is it how different is it training your own blood as opposed to training normal people?
I mean, with me, it's really like it ain't really no big difference, man, because you just you just have your way of training anybody, and you want to really get the best and the most out of everybody you're working with. So that's my goal, is just to make whomever I'm working with better. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about, man. Improvement, and you want to be able to see that as fighters advance. You
Right.
know? So, yeah. So that we in the trenches, we growing and learning, man. He doing his thing, and I've never really asked him or pushed him to box. He chose this, so it's been challenging in a lot of ways, but I see a lot of great things in Junior. I really do, man, and I just can't wait to the world get a look at him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. What are your opinions on today's YouTubers getting into boxing? Do you think it helps the sport, or do you think it kind of makes it like kind of corny?
I mean, thing, man. I mean, they doing their thing, and I mean, I don't know, man. I really don't have no opinion either way, bro. Like I said, when it all first jumped off, I was kind of pissed off the way they did my man Nate Robinson. But after that kind of bubbled down, I wasn't really tripping. I mean, it's whatever. Everybody trying to make it, man. I just wish they had a even playing field. They let everybody eat. You feel me? When I just sit back and watch, I don't really. I used to be expressive. My opinion don't matter. So, I just stay quiet sometimes. I don't really trip on it. You feel me? Really trip on it at all. So to me, it don't matter, man. Let everybody win. Let them be happy. And if it's an audience for it, let them eat. But when others want that same type of support, they don't give it. They don't
Right.
give it.
No, they
So,
don't.
my thing is, they like to pick and choose, bro. But like, open the gates, bro. Like, for real. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
That makes sense. If you didn't box, what would you have done?
If I didn't box, shit, I'd probably be acting. I
You
probably,
you
bro.
you you
That's
were, you were
that's
good, man. You were
yeah, that's natural, bro. Be acting. I'm a personality out here, a whole personality, bro.
good.
You know what
Well,
Did
your first,
didn't you play basketball and football in high school?
I was gifted. I was an athlete, but
What?
get paid for nothing but boxing. That's the only thing they were gonna pay to see me do. You feel me?
Yeah.
So yeah, even though I had dreams, I was realistic about what I was really able to do.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at boxing, like I said, on every level, I was the champ on every level. So every footsteps you can find that anybody walked, I walked those same footsteps. And in my time, I was the best. So No comparison. I was the best, bro. So I wish I could have proved that more in the heavyweight division. I even wish I could have fought a lot of guys that retired with them O's, them O's. I know to be in there with me is something totally different. If they told the truth, they'll let you know that too. But it'll kill them to tell the truth. So
But Buddy Mugert told us, man. Buddy told us, and you know that's a legend right there. So of course, so I got one for you. Not including yourself, who were your 3 pound for pound greatest fighters of all time, in your opinion?
to myself, you know
Not
what? I mean, to be humble, I wouldn't put myself in the pound for pound of all time. You feel me? Just in my time, nobody couldn't beat me. That's
okay.
it. Look, the little time I was out there, nobody couldn't beat me in my weight class. That's all.
Okay.
But pound for pound, I mean, you got to go with Jack Johnson, bro, because of, you feel me? Jack
Hell,
Johnson, Muhammad Ali, and Floyd Mayweather. Them the 3 goats to me. You feel me?
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
them the
That
3
makes
goats
sense.
to me. You know.
I couldn't disagree.
Well, Jeremy is a big fan of Hagler. That's his number 1.
And Hagler, my idol. You know, but when you say pound for pound greatest of all time, you feel me? Like,
Oh,
and
well, that
Mark
is
Hagler is one of my greatest. He's one of the 4 kings. But those 3 stand out for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
100%.
Well,
100%.
you don't want to hear my greatest of all time, but um, so I heard that you were going to make a comeback or do an exhibition on one of the Jake Paul undercards. Was that true?
That was true. Yeah, that was true. And Triller owed me a date, so you feel me? We gotta take care of our little business, but they owed me a date.
What happened?
Yeah.
What
No,
happened?
I don't really want to talk about it, but you know, they owed me a date, so you know, you never know. Y'all might be seeing the Magic Man once again, but
Well, you know, Jeremy was supposed to fight James Toney this weekend.
what happened, man? Y'all not doing it?
It got canceled. The Mauricio Suleiman leaned on ESPN and leaned on the promoters, and because of the whole Holyfield situation and the recent injuries, he just thought it wasn't safe.
And you know that's unfortunate because I kind of like feel like some people shouldn't be fighting. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
that don't mean all people shouldn't be fighting. There's guys out there that are older that can really demonstrate the difference, but they don't want that. You understand? They don't want to allow someone that can do it still at a high level to show them the difference. They want to use these other guys as examples, but they're not examples. No, they're not examples, but they're the reason they're going to use to block guys that can truly do it. You see what I'm saying? So it's all just a facade, man. You know, but hey, they took me off a card because they say my age. When, come on, bro, I've kept better than all of them. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, me too.
How you gonna use me in that example? Nah, that don't fit, bro. So if it ain't something ain't clean in the milk, then you know what it is. But yeah, me and Frank Mir was supposed to do an exhibition. Yeah, in Atlanta, I was supposed to headline that first Triller situation, they first card. But you know, hey, for whatever reason, at the final hour, you know, they snatched that from me. So you know, that was crazy.
I see it now. I see it. Jeremy Williams versus Antonio Magic Man Tarver exhibition.
No, bro, it ain't none of that. No, it ain't none of that, bro. Like I said, man, like, come on. I'm not saying I'm available for that, but if I was gonna do it, it's got to be something, you know, big, bro. It got to be
Right.
something huge, and there's only a few people that can give me that. You feel me? And I ain't tripping like that's something I'm looking forward to, but you know, I can do it at whatever level I
Well,
want. Just,
How old are you now?
I just let them have it. You ain't gonna believe me if I told you, bro. you,
you're
ain't
I
born
gonna,
believe
you're born in '68.
you ain't gonna believe me if I told you, man. So
Born in
this.
68. So he's what, 53?
I'll be 53 next month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So what did you think about the Holyfield the fight? You know how did that were you, because a lot of fighters were annoyed at Belfort for, you know, going so hard. Did you share that opinion?
I mean, it seems like to me, all these exhibitions, man, they eventually turn into contests. You know what I mean? Like, the only one that really didn't was Roy Jones and Tyson. They had a lot of respect for each other in that fight, but you rarely see that. You know what I mean? You rarely see that in these exhibitions. You know, even with the Floyd and Logan, you know, Floyd and Logan Paul.
Uh-huh.
You know, they looked like they went at it. You know what I'm saying? Like they was trying to get at it like that.
Yeah.
So, you
Yeah.
know, it's kind of hard, man. It's like that's why they always say you got to be ready to keep
Mm-hmm.
from getting ready. You got to be ready for whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When you in that ring, you got to be ready to protect yourself because you can't control that other person across from you. You know, and
100% correct.
you know, so that's why it's important to be in shape all the time. You know, and give yourself the best chance to win.
Oh, so you want to look good doing what you do.
Mm.
You know, you setting that, the world's last look at you is, you out of shape and overweight. That's not cool. Yeah, they be, they want to see the package that they had when you were fighting. So you got to give them a version of that. You know what I mean? So you got to at least try to, so that they have a good opinion about our sport, a good opinion about you and the fight. Like when James and I, we were gonna work with each other. We weren't going to kill each other. But selling the fight, you got to talk like that. They
Did,
shot us in the foot.
did you ever Antonio, did you ever move around with Tony?
I never got in the ring with James Tony. Nah, nah, I
That,
did.
that would have been a fight right there.
Yeah, James, a hell of a fighter, man. Legendary fighter. Yeah, James, you had to bring it. You saw me and James one on one. We had to sit down.
Yes.
We
Yes.
did Tarver's take, bro. Don't act like you ain't sit there and witness that. Everybody saw that. You feel me? And
Yes.
you saw what I said in that interview when me and James was chopping it up, and that's just how I felt, bro. Like,
No, it's true. You
oh,
know,
bro, I'm gonna tell you, man. On any given night, bro, none of them guys couldn't sleep on me on any given night, and they know that, bro. Like, come on, man. I saw the Da Vinci Code, bro. They better stop playing with me.
you
If
did
you
so.
really want, if you really want to, you really want to say it like that, bro. Like, come on, man. They better know. They know what I did, bro. I ain't got to really toot my own horn, but they don't give it enough credit because I was the first, and then after that, everything looked normal. But before it was before me and after me, because when nobody fucking with Roy Jones Jr., they know that shit, bro. So they better
Uh,
stop.
man, my
Come on.
mouth dropped down to my did that. And I'm still angry at you for that shit. But and it was weird because in the third fight, that was probably the easiest. I wouldn't say that was easy, but that was,
Man, one nut, man. That's world championship level, but wasn't none of that shit.
yeah, not
What
easy.
you talking about? We know you ain't never been in there
I have been.
talking about something easy in that boxing ring, bro. You crazy.
Not it was easy. I said that you
That's
would.
what it is. They don't give it enough respect. They got to get their ass in there and take a few shots. Then you can sit on that couch and say, okay, you feel me? You'll have a different outlook on that shit, bro.
Oh no, absolutely. I don't think it was easy. I just feel like at that last fight, you had figured out his style, and that's what I meant. Not that it was easy, because of course,
Man, look, it's figuring out somebody's style. They still throwing punches at you. You still got to move. You still got to be uh, mentally focused. You know,
right?
still got to be alert, bro. Like, come on, you talking about somebody dangerous, bro?
Yeah.
Like, come on, you ain't. I'm dangerous too. Because if anybody make a mistake, that could be it. You feel me? Because I
Yeah.
was that sharp. You feel me? Like, dude, I was sharp. I ain't make too many mistakes in that ring.
No.
I
Right.
did too many mistakes in that ring. So, but I'm just talking like that because this the shit they ain't gonna never say, bro. They ain't gonna, you feel me? The purists ain't gonna say it. They not gonna tell you like it is. So when you ever want to get it 100 cut, like 100 fat, you gotta talk to a real one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The only reason you gonna have to talk to a real one.
Absolutely.
So that's all.
Um, who of the current fighters fighting right now? Who do you like? Who are your top 2 or 3 like that you like that are active right now?
Man, I like a lot of the young guys in the game. A lot of the fighters on the pound for pound list. Of course, everybody should be impressed with the trilogy of the heavyweight division with Wilder and Fury, the way that battle went, man. Yeah, that really brought a lot of life to the game, and then Usyk, so we may get to see a undisputed eventually, but no, it's a lot of young guys out there doing their thing. Tank, can you believe? I mean, uh, Tank didn't get on the pound for pound list either. I was surprised by that because he signed to Money Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather. He's on Showtime. I mean, he's one of the most visible fighters out there. I mean, and I think he's one of the biggest United States stars, biggest American star that we have in the game. I mean, he should be definitely representing us on the pound for pound list. So I don't know, man. I made that an issue because I think Fury and Gervonta Davis definitely should be on there.
Yeah,
They gotta make room for guys that are carrying the torch like that, man.
I I
Uh,
go ahead, Jerry.
I agree. We've got America's got to get. They got to these American fighters, the ones that we have that are doing well. We got to push and promote them so that they keep themselves in a position of stature. Sometimes so many people they look around, but they don't look right here what they got right at home.
It's funny. So I was going to mention this, and Ivan Robinson mentioned Jaron Ennis. You've seen Boots fight?
I've been following Boots, man. You know what? I look at these young guys, they develop. You feel me? I see it early on. It's not like surprising to me that guys like Schoolboy, you know, has risen. Guys like, my man Purdy, you feel me? Too Purdy, Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Guys like I'm not surprised. I've been following these guys 2-3 years now. I see they grind, and these guys remind me a lot, of those throwback fighters. They got it out the mud. You see what I'm saying? They wasn't really celebrated. You feel me? They
Mm-hmm.
really have the whole, system working with them. You feel me? They
Right.
having to break doors down. So I can relate to
Right.
that struggle. You know what I'm saying? To break through, and then you eventually get your day to show the world what they've been missing out on. Yeah, I can relate to those guys, and I just want to say, man, keep doing your thing, keep dreaming, because like I'm all about the underdog, man. I mean, I've been an underdog all my life, and
Mm-hmm.
underdogs. That's what I'm all about.
So you mentioned the Fury Wilder fight. Coming from a former champion at the highest level, what did you think about Wilder's initial reaction after the loss, not to show any respect to Fury?
You know what? I mean, shit, man. This the fight game, bro, and it's like you never know. You feel me? What it takes. You see what I'm saying? And maybe it took that for him to go back to the drawing board, demand this fight, and then put on that type of performance. You feel me? Man, he might have needed to be on edge. He might have needed that, chip on his shoulder to be able to go where he had to go to prepare for such an incredible fight, man. Both of these guys took as good as they gave, and that was just a good fight, man. That the whole trilogy gave us everything, we wanted and want in the heavyweight division. That trilogy that we just experienced was everything. The first fight, the second fight, even the third fight. And Wilder was inches away from knocking Fury out again. So that was the drama in that. You
Yeah,
feel me? But Fury was able to, snatch victory from defeat once again, and he showed the world what he was made of. And he should be commended. Both guys should be commended.
yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. My phone's about to die, guys.
Yeah, we've been on this thing almost an hour, man. So you feel me?
All right, man.
It's
Thanks for
been.
talking, man.
Hey, I appreciate you guys for having me on. Sorry, Jeremy, it took a little minute, man. But I don't
Yes,
be doing podcasts no more. You feel me? I got my own podcast, Tarver Takes, where I break down all the, exciting news and matchups in the game, man. So Check me out on all social media platforms at Antonio Tarver. And you guys keep doing what you're doing, man. Sorry, Jeremy, man. I feel for you, bro, with that fight being
I,
you know.
I got bigger fish to fry,
And
man.
I went through the same thing, so I know how you feeling, bro. For real.
Right, right. Do what we do. Hey, you guys have a great evening. I'll talk with you in a
Peace.
bit.
Thank
Talking
you, guys. Y'all be good.